Hello, I'm back again with another, small update on my 2006 Impala SS restoration project. And there's the car sitting over there, and here we have a pair of fenders, and not a whole lot going on, but these two fenders are waiting for a coat of primer surfacer, maybe a couple of coats and some sanding. That is not primer surfacer you see on there right now. That's this stuff. That's my slather coat. And the whole strategy with this car was the entire, there's kind of like a belt line from the whole bottom of the car all the way up to about here. Okay, so all the way up to pretty much the top of the side has all been base coated with that slather coat before top coatings for maximum corrosion resistance. You know, the doors just go all the way up to the top with the slather coat, and then same strategy, the fenders, the fenders are going to just follow that line right there, and so the whole fender all the way to the top and inside and out. And then the insides of the fenders, you probably saw this before, but the insides of the fenders are double coated with bed liner. So the whole inside of the fender is bed liner, double coats of bed liner on top of a coat of that slather coat. It's heavily armor plated, and the bed liner goes all the way up to the inside. You can see I've been scuff sanding that bed liner. It goes all the way up to the inside of the lip. So basically the bed liner just ends right there at that lip radius, because it's not going to look right out here, so it ends right there. And then this is just an additional, I just put more attention on this wheel opening, because that's obviously the rust prone area. So this needs to be sanded. This is another brush applied application, and both of them have that, and so it's waiting for me to sand that down. And then these got to get a coat of primer, and they might get it this week or not. I don't know. I might have to put it off for a while. It is really hot right now. Last 2 days it's been in the mid 90s Fahrenheit, very hot, very humid. It's just not the best conditions for working out here, and I got some other things coming up pretty soon. Maybe I'll talk about that later. I got a big event coming up. But anyways, yeah, my DA, my one DA I've been using for a long time, it broke down, and in the meantime I bought another DA, and this is made by a company called Air Vantage, and this is a nice little palm DA, and it's got a speed control on it, and this old one did not. You have to use an air regulator, and this old one has a vacuum hose coupling that I never used, but it has no speed control. But anyway, this one broke down, and what happened is, what happens all the time with these things is you got a vane and rotor. You see these little vanes, you got this rotor and these 5 vanes that go in those slots, and these vanes, the rotor is plastic and the vanes are made out of this phenolic composite, and the vanes will wear. They take a little wear pattern from sliding back and forth as the rotor turns, and what happens is one of the vanes will eventually wear thin and snap. They snap in half long ways. Okay, if you can see, it's like I don't know, it's an oblong rectangle in there. You see it, and one of them snapped in half long ways, locked up the rotor. So I fixed it. In the meantime, I bought a new DA. And this thing is ARO brand, and I think it's made by Air Vantage, because I think ARO stands for Air Vantage Random Orbital. That's what I think it stands for. And the reason why I think that is because this is the repair kit. It fits this tool, okay? And these are nice to have, because this is a wear item. This is it's going to break down on you eventually. You got to keep it oiled and everything, but eventually this is considered a wear item. This is not expensive, about $15 for this kit. And so that fits this here, and it fits that. I bought a couple of kits. I was figuring, I'll bet you it fits this one too, because it looks very similar, and it does. So I repaired it. So now I've got a couple of palm DAs. I got a 6-inch hook and loop pad on that one, and a 5-inch hook and loop pad on that one. And I can interchange pads. I can do whatever I want. Basically, I'll be using this one all the time, and this one is for backup in case this one breaks. I got something to fall back on until I can fix it. If I'm right in the middle of something. So anyway, yeah, that's what this is waiting for. I'm going to sand down. I sand this by hand with probably some 180, and then I'll go back over it and blend it all in here and finish it out with a DA. And then it's going to get a couple of coats of primer surfacer, and then that all needs to be block sanded down so it's all nice and straight. And then from there, those fenders will be ready for finished paint. And yeah, I got another, just some stuff I want to talk about. Completely different topic, on the topic of mole hunting, playing whack-a-mole, and just what my experiences are with that. I'm going to close this door. It's actually hotter outside than it is in the garage right now. It's just broiling hot out here. So anyway, going out to the backyard, and talking about my mole hunting exploits here. Well, out in this zone, I had a very large zone last fall, starting about last September, and there were moles that there was a very large, I saw the most damage there I've ever seen. Very large damage area, and I put all my mole traps. I've got 6 of them right here, and I was moving them around and everything, and I'm trying to get lucky and get one of them. I never got one, and they just had their way with a big section of area here that went from about there to about there, and about from all the way back to about here, and it's all healed up now. It was terrible though. You can't mow over that. You have to go over there and stomp it all down, because they raise hills, and you'll just hit a bunch of dirt when you mow. And I had to plant a bunch of grass, and that all happened last fall, and I had my traps out there over the winter, and I tried to get lucky, and I got nothing. I was moving those traps around, and I just came up empty. I got nothing. And then, well, I fixed all that when the spring came this year, and then in the meantime, the mole moved over here, and this was just a few days ago, and this is all starting to heal up now. And I posted that. I caught one over here. I got the perpetrator for this, and so he was making a mess out of this here, and I just put my traps down and I got him. And now that was just like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and that area is just starting to heal up, and I had to tamp it all down and everything so I can mow over it, knock all the hills down. You basically got to come over here and just walk on it and stomp on it and press all the hills down and everything, so you got flat ground again. And then I just mowed a couple of days ago, and here I am. Now there's new damage, and this is fresh damage over here. These are fresh hills. And okay, here's what really frustrates me on this is that everybody talks about, and the official instructions for from the makers of these traps and stuff. They say look for active runs, okay, between damage areas, because these damage areas are where they're just making random spaghetti. It's got no rhyme or reason. It's got no order to it. It's just a random spaghetti of damage. And they say look for active runs, and find an active run, and put the they want you to find a run between one damage area to another. Well, there is no run. They don't do that here. I don't know why. They just don't. There's just a big expanse of just random damage that it's got no sense to it. You cannot find some kind of long run where you can just put, because that's what they tell you. They tell you that these moles go from one damage area to another, and they'll make a run, and well, they obviously have to, but they don't make one that shows. They must be smart enough to make it deep. I don't know, because I can't find any kind of a run. I mean, you should be able to see it, because the grass dies everywhere they make a tunnel. The grass dies. It becomes very obvious, and then you can go and step on it, and you can find that it's hollow underneath there. And yes, I know how to look for it. There is no run. All right, I'm telling you right now, there just is no run. There's just random damage that pops up. Okay, so like I said, there was a very large area, probably more than one mole. Random damage. All I could do is just put traps out there and try to get lucky, and didn't get lucky. And then over here, same thing. And there was no telltale run. There was no telltale run that went from here to there. And then, I got one over there. I got lucky and I got him. And it looks like, only one guy was doing all that. I don't know. But, I just put a bunch of traps out, and you just got to get lucky, and he'll blunder into one of them. Hopefully you have to just put a lot of traps and try to make it hard for them to avoid. So here's what I've done here, and I cannot find any kind of run that leads to this area of, you know, concentrated damage. There's no telltale run going in and out of it, because if there was, yeah, then I'd put a string of traps along that run. There is no run. The moles where I live, they're smart, okay? I don't know how they are where you live, but where I live, they're smart, and you just got to put a whole bunch of traps out there, and they avoid them. They know how to avoid them, and you got to put just so many traps out that they're hard. It makes it hard for them to avoid, and eventually one of those moles will screw up and blunder into one of them, hopefully. And that's why when I get one of them, they are so hard to catch. And that's why I kind of take a little bit of joy in it. But yeah, so these traps have been up for a couple of days. Nothing have happened. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to buy more. I've only got 6 of these. Like I've also talked about how I have different styles of traps, and some of them aren't worth a damn. And these are the ones this style has probably caught the most. Not that I've caught many. I mean, maybe about 3 or 4 in the last 5 or 6 years. I don't know. But these ones seem to be working best. So I will probably get more of this kind because I don't have enough. I need to create so much trap density in here that there's just no place for them to go without running into one, and I don't have enough. I got 6. I probably need 6 more. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's enough for now. Thanks for watching, and so long.